I've been accused of trying to frighten the people. Well, if so, that's only because I'm frightened myself.
You could almost hear a sigh of relief in Europe over the news that President Ford had won the Republican nomination, or more to the point, that Ronald Reagan had not. Europe's image or impression of Reagan is that of an ex-Hollywood actor with a permanent smile and simplistic views about foreign policy.
I just can't imagine him being president. It's too complex a job.
Yeah, I'd hate to see him involved in a Near East peace discussion and come up with one of these ill-informed shoot from the hip types of comments.
I think he would have gotten us into a war right by this time. Carter certainly hasn't.
I think it's a big risk to have Reagan as president. Reagan scares me. He really scares me.
It's going to be one of the major electoral sweeps of recent history.
Ronald Reagan used the debate to convince voters that he was not this mad Hollywood bomber from the West, that he was presidential.
Mad Hollywood bomber from the West.
That was a look back at some of the skepticism.
Also derided as the fascist gun in the West.
About Ronald Reagan.
Forget how mocked and ridiculed Reagan was.
As he made his climb from Hollywood actor to the presidency. Joining us now, Pulitzer Prize-winning historian and author of Destiny and Power, The American Odyssey of George H.W. Bush, John Meacham. I've made that a Christmas gift for my Democratic and Republican family members.
They all love it. They all love it. And why
well,
wouldn't
they don't know they're getting it.
So, John Meacham, history does seem to be repeating itself a bit. I said yesterday, people forget how much Reagan was mocked and derided. Gerald Ford, even in 1976, had a campaign saying, Governor Reagan cannot get you into war, but President Reagan can.
You know, one of the reasons he put Bush on the ticket, and one of the reasons he tried to get Ford on the ticket in 1980, and it ended up with 41, was he said, "I'm seen as a combination of Ebenezer Scrooge meets the Mad Bomber." So he was aware of the caricature. You know, one thing about Reagan that's a little different from the current climate is he did always project a serenity. There was a confidence, not an anger. And I think that one of his secrets actually was the people felt his sure and certain confidence in them, in the idea of American greatness. But he was not an angry candidate.
That's true. I think serenity is a really good word that shows a little bit of a difference. Here's more, though. When Reagan was running for president in 1976, a column in the Atlanta Constitution said, quote, "The truly remarkable thing about this political season is that Ronald Reagan is regarded by anybody as a serious candidate for president of the United States. The man has the depth of a new coat of paint." That he should be regarded as a serious candidate for president, Harper's Magazine wrote, is a shame and an embarrassment for the country at large to swallow. The New York Times reported that the Carter campaign's 1980 strategy, no easy questions, come to the Oval Office, Mr. Carter says. The implication is that a former Hollywood actor lacks the basic equipment for the job. An editorial in the Chicago Daily News said the trouble with Reagan, of course, is that his positions on the major issues are cunningly phrased nonsense, irrationality, conceived, and hair-raising in their potential mischief. Here comes Barry Goldwater again, only more so. And at this stage, another such debacle could sink the GOP so deep it might never recover. And even 7 weeks after he was elected, David Broder of the Washington Post wrote, "The central political question of the first phase of his presidency is becoming clear. To what extent is Reagan running the show, and to what extent are others preparing to govern in his name?"
John Meacham, stunning, a guy that was considered ill-equipped to be president of the United States, and who the Chicago Sun-Times, I think it was, said would destroy the Republican Party for a generation. In fact, revived it. We just don't know what the voters are going to say.